Book 2, A Journey to Real Freedom, Part 13. I was so startled that I fell backwards off the box and onto the ground. I was now flat on my back, lying there and wishing I was somewhere else. I was looking straight up into the darkened sky, afraid to look at the window and seeing his face. I was a bundle of nerves. What should I do now? My body felt all right. I didn't hurt myself during the fall. As I lay there on my back, face up, I slowly lifted my head and looked into the light from the window. I could see him through the dusty glass, looking all around, as though he may or may not have seen me. The whole experience started to become very eerie while I watched his old head move slowly around. My little heart was throbbing as I lay there, as still as I could be, hoping that he didn't see me. Oh boy, I thought, I'm in trouble now with the big noisy guy. I thought I may have upset the old guy and caused him to panic. I started to feel a little badly and out of place with my big adventure. This was no longer an adventure. It suddenly became a torture, more like a nightmare. Then he moved from the window, and I could no longer see him. I stayed motionless for a while. Then I decided to be brave. So I slowly stood up and climbed back up on the box to look in the window again. I could see that he was no longer there. Now I began to wonder if I really saw him at all. I felt so much better in a way. Maybe he's not really upset, I thought. I looked all around the room, and he was nowhere to be found. Ha! I thought to myself. Was I just dreaming? And then suddenly his head popped up again. Once again I fell backwards and onto the ground. This time I got up so fast and ran back to the room as swiftly as I could and closed the door behind me. I was in such a panic that I accidentally slammed the door and woke Mum up. "What was that, sweetie?" she said as she came out of her sleep rather groggily. "I went outside for a moment, Mum," I said. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to slam the door." She looked at me rather cock-eyed, trying to wake up, and said, "That's okay, sweetie. I want to get up and take a shower anyhow." She got up and went into the bathroom and closed the door. I sat on the bed and caught my breath, worrying that I was going to get caught for peeking in the old man's window. All of a sudden, I heard Mum yell from the bathroom, "Yuck!" I was wondering what she meant by that. "The water here is a yucky brown," she said in a loud voice. I was so nervous and exhausted I didn't pay any attention to what she was saying. After a few moments, she said, "It is okay now. I just had to let it run for a while." I could hear Mum in the shower as she was singing to herself. She was a pretty happy person for the most part. I could tell that she really liked the idea of leaving the farm life and moving to California. She was an explorer and loved the adventure of things like I did. She was still really young and wanted to see what else there was in life. All of these ideas going through my little head were helping to calm me down. I sat on the bed for a while, thinking about the old man in the window as Mum sang in the shower. It really haunted my mind that he was able to walk into the next room and then suddenly appear at the window so unexpectedly. How could he do that? I really wondered about the whole scene. All kinds of silly things were going through my mind. Also, who was he talking to? This place we were in was really strange, and I didn't want to close my eyes to any of it. Mum soon finished her shower and came into the bedroom and said, "Okay, sweetie, it's your turn." "All right, Mum," I said reluctantly. I took off my clothes and grabbed a towel and went into the bathroom. The bathroom had its own smell too. There was also a window that you could see through to the outside. All I could see was darkness and nothing but. I didn't give it any thought at first. I just went straight into the shower and began to wash up. The water was warm and felt good. For the moment, I forgot about what had just happened. I was now enjoying myself, just standing under the warm water. I must have been in the shower quite a while when I heard Mum yell. "Have you drowned yet?" she asked, as I could hear her laughing. Then I realized that I had been in there for a long time. So I turned off the water and got out. As I was standing there and drying off, wiping my little body down all the way to my feet, I stood up and suddenly saw the face of the old man at the bathroom window. I immediately jumped back and hit the wall with my back, which made a big boom. "Are you okay in there?" Mum yelled. I was totally frozen for a moment and could not speak at all. My mouth was hanging wide open, and I was in a bit of a shock. I immediately ran into the room where Mum was and grabbed her, holding on as tight as possible. She began to laugh as I held her. "Mum, there was someone at the window looking at me. I was so scared," I said in a very nervous voice. "Really?" she said, sounding a little surprised. "Yes, it was the old man from the office. He was looking at me through the window." She held me securely and said, It's probably your imagination running away with you, sweetie. Huh? I don't think so, lady. Besides, it didn't matter what she thought. I know what I saw. I was holding on and wanted to be held. After a few moments, I started to relax. Then I said, "Really? Do you really think so?" She let go and looked down at me and said, "All of us imagine funny things at times, and so do I. But most of the time, it is just silly stuff. Besides, why would the old guy want to see you anyhow? He can barely walk from one room to the next, let alone walk out into the dark around the building just to peek in the window." What she said made a lot of sense, but I know what I saw. I wanted everything to be all right, and I felt so much better after she told me all of that. Of course, I didn't believe her for 1 minute, but I wanted to, so I relaxed. Here was Mum telling me one thing, and what you had experienced was another. What's a boy to do? "Come on," she said, "let's go look in the bathroom, and I will show you there is nothing to be afraid of." I reluctantly walked into the bathroom with her. She led the way, and I slowly followed her.